Yo, this KB with Motor City Mag, Motor City News, Detroit hot new spot for artist updates, rap music reviews. And we gonna get into S.R.U versus H.N.I.C fam. Let's go. Now, way before Big Key was a Detroit top op, 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying, that top artist, that Detroit artist was Baby James. Baby James was a member of S.R.U. You know, that was a Detroit group that was young, fly. They was the flies, richest artists coming up out of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They was dropping billboards, getting booked with every artist that came through. S.R.U is a group from Detroit that consists of Phat, Snoop, Freaky, Skywalker, and Baby James. It's a few more, Jack Jack, and I could go on for days naming the affiliates, but those are the main ones. Baby James was a Detroit artist from Detroit, West Side, Joy Road to be exact. You know, he's from the same area that Detroit superstar T Grizzly is from. You know, before T Grizzly was screaming, rapping about Joy Road on the tracks, Baby James was representing Joy Road X&I, and he was doing the same thing, and he went pretty far with it. You know, he celebrities are definitely aware of him, and you know he stayed underground. I'm not sure if he got any type of deal, but never no major deal. They was totally independent. You know, they rep they nice jewelry, nice cars. I could go on for days. They had the whole nine. So when they stood on the side of these major artists, they looked just how they was looking. If not, the Detroit artists looked better. The Detroit artists had the better watch. Diamonds in their Cartiers, the better glasses. You know what I'm. When they standing on the side of Migos, you know, I could go on and on about artists, Migos, Jeezy, just thinking off the top of my head, you know, you name them, they done rub shoulders right with them. 2 Chains. So I say it's 2012. Like I said, 10 years ago, if it's 2013 right now, let's take it back to if it's 2003, excuse me, 2013 is what I'm talking about. You know, and at that time, the time I'm talking about, S.R.U was doing a thing, had the streets on lock, you know. Uh, Now, H.N.I.C was also a crew from Detroit. They was actually a crew from Joy Road. They also had close ties to Team Eastside and Peasy, you know, because if you don't know this, Peasy also went to Mackenzie High School, and Peasy had ties to Joy Road, going to high school with some members of H.N.I.C. So that's when Peasy had been tied into H.N.I.C way before Peasy was even Peasy as a major artist. And back in high school, H.N.I.C was actually the hood celebrities, and they had the popularity. And Peasy didn't have the popularity like that because he wasn't even a rapper yet. Back then, H.N.I.C was rappers. They was local rappers. Then they was still in high school. They had all the cars. They had the money. Um, you know, they had the local success, if you what you would call it. So after people emerged out of high school, guys graduated, H.N.I.C got heavier into trapping and heavier into street life. And at the time, the number one artist, the artist was out was Streets R Us. Streets R Us, the beginning of Doughboy, Cash Out. Other artists you had. I'm unsure if you had LOM around that time. But I know H.N.I.C, um, Ball Hard, All Star Ball Hard. But I'm getting a little later with that, so do not quote me on the time. I know for sure Doughboy Cash Out, H.N.I.C, and S.R.U. You know, them the ones I know for sure. These three was mingling in the area, same area with each other. Those was the artists that was out, and the whole theme was about getting money. You know what I mean? They was going to clubs, doing shows, throwing money in the crowd. Draped in the gold, young, with all the ladies packing out the shows, and it was definitely trap music. That genre of music was definitely trap music, and was riding nice old schools. You know, and they was doing their thing. So H.N.I.C is deciding that, hey, we want to get in on this. You know, they at the time they had everybody dealing with them basically on the smoke. H.N.I.C was known to keep the Leary, basically to keep the good smoke. So they was providing all the rappers at the time with smoke. You know, all the local rappers, H.N.I.C. You know, so H.N.I.C wanted to gain more momentum, more. H.N.I.C wanted to gain more momentum, so they turned to robbery. Basically, H.N.I.C was the guys, the group known to take everybody glasses. They started going out doing that. And they also was plugged in with a lot of people, like I said, that would come to them to get smoke, and they can pull and they would pull a move. It was worded that's why H.N.I.C had pulled a move back in the day on Chaz Bling, and that was the thing that why H.N.I.C and Doughboy Cash Out had their little problem. You know, that's why you never see a H.N.I.C Doughboy Cash Out working together. You ain't never seen it. Back in the day, it was worded that Bling used to deal with them. At the time, H.N.I.C probably had about 4 or 5 spots around the city. They popular like that, like buzzing. You know what I'm saying? Fresh out of high school, and Bling was supposed to come to one of the over there to get some smoke one time, and allegedly somebody pulled off in one of his cars. Basically, one of his cars got took. Cause you know, back then you pull up, sounds banging, they hopping out, car still running. That's how Chaz Bling and the boys used to pull up. That's how Baby James would pull up, car banging. These type leaving their car running at the grocery store. I mean, leaving their car running at the gas station. You know, like that. Like a nigga better not dare to take it. You better not dare to hop in there. That's how Chaz Bling used to pull up when he was dealing with them fresh out of high school. And one of his monies got took on deuces. They say the next day Chaz Bling came through that boy on one on fours. You know what I'm saying? Back then niggas used to ride spinners. the spin he had the spinners on the deuces. They little Monte Carlo 86, 87. They took that. Say the next day Chaz Bling had another money on fours. So that put the nail and severed the relationship between H.N.I.C and Dope Boys. So what S.R.U do? S.R.U tie in their relationship real tight with Dope Boy Cash Out. And they turn up together and make alliance. And that's when they dropped that song We Run the City. You know, I think that was around 2013. DBC and S.R.U released that song, We Run the City. And from there, it just kept going up. So after they dropped that video, the beef get deeper. H.N.I.C get more infamous, and you know, S.R.U get more infamous, and same thing with the rest of the groups, you know. So from then, I think H.N.I.C end up losing J-Mo. So as H.N.I.C lost J-Mo, a lot of rappers, well, I ain't gonna say rappers, J-Mo, H.N.I.C end up losing a lot of members. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people to this day that used to be H.N.I.C and they, you know, they probably throwing parties or I don't know, they getting money doing some type of something, everybody, but they had a lot of solid people with them. So when they got to robbing, and a lot of them guys was really getting money guys, and they just wanted to get that money. You know what I'm saying? A nigga that's really about getting money, he ain't trying to take the glasses from the nigga with the money, because that's gonna slow down your bag. If you get money, you need to affiliate with other people that's getting money, and turning a gun on them trying to rob them, that's the quickest way to go broke. Anybody that's getting money as far as trapping, know that you need to have a trust thing going on where niggas can trust you. You good money. You know what I'm saying? So when they got in that bag, as far as the jacking bag, H.N.I.C lost a lot of members, because it was AJ, Pies, Sauce, J-Mo, Sauce and J-Mo. Sauce and J, when they lost J-Mo, Sauce and J-Mo was down there, had their own little thing going. Sauce and J-Mo used to be together like, you know what I'm saying, like twins. They was getting money out here too, you know what I'm saying, in the area, Joy Road, Plymouth area. Cause Sauce used to be like J-Mo little Jet Li. He was like his little man's, and J-Mo, you know what I'm saying? He from Joy Road. He plugged in all through Joy Road. And he from Plymouth. So they was a mad little duo. But the other member, what's his name? H.A. shit, he on there doing comedy. You know what I mean? And his comedy, it's nice. He ain't on there like on no lame shit. He party, same shit, you know what I'm saying? Getting money. They be together. Some of the boys, and be with DZ. You know what I mean? The guys that was getting money started doing all other things. You know what I'm saying? H.N.I.C Ken catches his case around this time. He caught a case. He ain't gonna get into his case, but it was a violent case, and he ended up beating it. He beat it though. I will say that. And so he was not convicted of that one. And you know, what happened, Ken say he started rapping, And that was kind of surprising when Ken always rap, but when he got to rapping about the murder game, you know what I mean, that was surprising because Ken was a calm, laid back type of guy, you know what I mean. He wasn't like a guy who run his mouth or nothing like that. So as soon as he got to rapping, it basically went up because it was, you know what I mean. He had everything that it needed, you know what I mean. He was you know, he wasn't no guy just getting on there saying anything. A lot of these guys sound good, but they be saying a lot of lies. It's not really what you saying if everybody know what you saying is the truth. If you everybody knew his rep basically. So Peasy came out for the videos, and H.N.I.C went up. Now H.N.I.C is now one of the major Detroit rap groups that's getting talked about. You know what I mean? And S.R.U thing dying down because they done broke up. They had all the function and all the BS with BJ. BJ had the city popping off so much where so much gunplay, and them boys got locked up behind BJ or whatever. S.R.U done broke up. Like, ain't even dropping no more music. H.N.I.C is turning up. Locking in with Peasy. You seeing them? They everywhere right now. Baby James started his own record label, Acting Bad. Say No More Gang. I think that's what it was. We acting bad. Say no more. S.R.U Snoop was dropping for sure at first. Snoop was still kept up with it too. As far as S.R.U Snoop, he put enough work in to damn near be considered a major artist. That bag that S.R.U Snoop was putting behind himself. So I can never forget that. With Snoop, it was more quality over quantity. These guys can do music, and you can put out a dozen videos, but yet you haven't even put $50,000 into your career. And Snoop can come out and done drop 5 videos, but he done put $250,000 in his career.
Guarantee this AK blow your face off. Whole thing I came up off an 8-ball. In the club chain screaming cut the lights on. In the dark I still showered on this ice on. Bad bitch just because what Snoop on the freeway flying with the roof gone. Was understood you gon' fuck me if I say so. Put your ass out on the lodge if you say no. Bitch, it's time to cop, I got knots on me. Meet the plug on the block, what you got for me? Bitch, I cop heavy, ain't no small time. At the grill, can the leaders work all mines? I'm from the D, all I do is put on. That bitch bad, but she ain't colder than these Louis I got on. You ain't getting money, nigga, get lost. We just cop it, nigga, fuck what it costs. I'm a boss. 30,000 left wrist, swear to God, nigga. 12,000 right wrist, swear to God, nigga. 20,000 around my neck, you want a job, nigga? Come work for me, you ain't gotta rob, nigga. Bitch, I get it by the pile, nigga, add me up. Boy, that's only 30,000, nigga, add me up. All this shit I got on, nigga, add me up. Nigga, add me up. Bitch, add me up, nigga.
Solo videos. He worked with the likes of Icewear Vezo and a lot of other hot artists at the time. Fat Snoop stayed with a slot on World Star Hip Hop when World Star Hip Hop was charging about $5K just for a post. If Fat Snoop didn't have the little post, he had his music promoted nice and big on the World Star Hip Hop site. Snoop was highly motivated because he was also from the same neighborhood as Payroll, and he had plenty of sit-downs with Payroll Giovanni when Payroll gave him the blueprint on the do's and don'ts of being a solo artist. He gave him the game on how to kick his way into the door and become a major artist, separating himself from the H.N.I.C beef and also separating himself from Streets R Us altogether and kicking the doors open as a solo artist. S.R.U Fat Snoop, he was up and running. As the beef died down with S.R.U and H.N.I.C, the rappers still had a little smoke, but the trappers, the big dogs behind the scene, was breaking bread with each other, such as Shorty Rich was getting money, Paz, Lynn, and other guys that's too deep in the streets to even name. So when everything really started hitting the fan, it was a lot of smoke behind the scenes when homies felt like people was playing both sides. Some S.R.U affiliates was hanging out with the person that allegedly shot Baby James. Well, he beat the case. So the person that was locked up for shooting Baby James in the club. So it was starting to look like S.R.U would never get back together, and they was breaking up might be official. It looks like S.R.U may never get back together. On the other hand, the H.N.I.C crew, they was up and running. H.N.I.C Pesh and Capo was the couple original members that was left. They had just lost Twin. Now, Twin was not a rapper, but his death was a big loss for H.N.I.C. So, RIP to Twin. Much respect to him, and also much respect to J-Mo. They are both from my neighborhood, and I want to give a respect to them guys. Both of them guys was cool dudes, gangsters, and gentlemen, just like Ken, and also like Pets. The H.N.I.C had new shooters on their squad, and that's when we get to H.N.I.C Fetti. A lot of things changed. A lot of things would take place for the better and for the worse. H.N.I.C Fetti was also from Plymouth. You know, Joy Road to P-Rock was H.N.I.C territory. So he was a hothead that was from the area. So why not put him down? Now, it was only right to add Fetti to the crew because he was a shooter. He was about his money. He was a young, fearless dude. But behind the scenes, H.N.I. Ken didn't really like it. He didn't really like that over gangster attitude. He didn't really like someone that was too tough and always trying to play that role because Ken was the true gangster and he was also a gentleman. He didn't want to be with anybody that was going to have a situation where it was going to get violent because when it came down to it, Ken was gonna bust his gun. When it came down to it, some people was gonna end up dead. So Ken didn't like to be around people that was over tough. And it was a lot of past H.N.I.C members that got into it with Ken. And once you get into it with Ken, it's like you don't come around anymore. But for some reason, Fetty, he kept coming around. You know, he knew that there was a little tension in the air between him and Ken. But long as Pesh kept him up under his wing, H.N.I.C Fetty was repping the crew, and he stuck up under Pesh. Plus, Fetty also kept coming around because he was a hothead. He was a wildcat himself, so he was fearless. But Fetty was also loose lips. He was open to talk about the crime he did. He was open to talk about how he busted his gun. And it goes to show when you have a gut feeling about someone, the best thing is to follow that gut feeling. And Fetty was the one that turned out to be state witness for H.N.I.C. We're not going to get too much into detail, but it was worded that Fetty had info on. They always say loose lips sink ships. And Fetty was open to talk about the crime that he did. And that goes to show when you have a gut feeling about somebody, it's best to follow that gut feeling. Because in the end, Fetty was the one who turned state witness, an informant for the feds. And he had info. He was given information on 3 separate shootings where they tried to kill Baby James. 3 separate incidents where they tried to take Baby James out. Next, on S.R.U versus H.N.I.C, Part 1, Episode 2, Shooting number 1, when Baby James tries to do a drive-by on H.N.I.C and ends up getting grazed in the head. We're going to talk about how Baby James got the location on H.N.I.C, got the word that they was out there on their block, and he hit their block and opened up shots. Firing, H.N.I.C came out shooting back. For some odd reason, Baby James' car ended up cutting off. More bullets came. They swear I hit him. We're going to talk about that whole shootout on the next episode, episode 2 of S.R.U versus H.N.I.C. We gone. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for post notifications.